Okay, so right now I'm going to show you how to place a different image over the damask. So I'm going into my documents currently, and I am going to find another method. So you go and you go place linked. It used to be place, but now it's place linked, so I don't exactly know what the link is about. But I'm going to go to my templates, or if you have any templates, and I am going to pick out what I am going to put over the damask. So you can get overlays, different things. And if we look through here, we're just going to show you the chevron. So you push place and OK, and then you'll just slide it on over and cover up the damask and press enter. Now, in order for this to show how you want, you first need to put it on screen. You can try other methods, but screen. So damask is showing through, and that is because it's probably on top, or it's on. So just shut it off, the little eyeball looking thing, or you can delete it or whatever you want to do. But I just shut mine off. And then you'll see the text was beneath and the tape. So I put the tape to the top so you can still see the tape there, right there. And I'm going to shut it off for this one. So just click on it, or you can delete it. So I'm going to shut it off by just clicking it. And then you'll see the text is behind everything. So you need to move that to the top, because everything on the top will show up on the top layer, since these are layers. So I just drag it to the top and it's right there. Now you can always click on the text and change it if you like. I am going to delete that and write something different. And instead of summertime, I'm actually going to write springtime. Then you can change the size. There is a way that you can do it different than this, but it's been a while, so. You can also change the color of this if you like. So you can use the eyedropper tool to get the right color. I'm going to make mine a little bit more of a darker hue of the purple, so it's not so black. And of course you can always mess with it. You can move it around, put it in different spots if you like. You can put your logo here. You can basically, you could do whatever you would like with this. But I'm actually going to move it back where I had it and just leave it there. Like that. The other thing you can do, I'll move it over a little bit. Okay, so we are going to commit this. I do not know what that means, but I'm going to say commit. So you can save your projects if you're using Photoshop to either the cloud or on your computer. Usually I save my Photoshop documents to the cloud, but for this purpose I'm going to save it to the file that I have specifically for this. So you're going to want to change it right here, because I do not want to save it to where my overlays are. So I'm going up to my backup, and I want to save it as a Photoshop. Apparently there's probably a quicker way, but I am just having a brain fart because I am not. There we go. And you'll really want to focus on learning how to organize your assets. This is something I did not do in the beginning, and now I do because I found out you can't find anything if you don't do it correctly. So I have a spot for Photoshop files, and I'm going to save it there. No, I do not want to replace it. So what I need to do is rename this, since I already have my Damask one with this. I'm going to say this is 1. I'm sure I could label it differently, but I'm going to put it as 1 and okay. So now this Photoshop document is saved. I can always open it up into Photoshop and mess with all of the layers. So the next thing that we need to do is to make it a JPEG or anything like that, we need to flatten the image. So we're going to discard all those layers. When you do this, you want to make sure that you have your Photoshop saved, your document, so that you can edit it, because once you flatten it, you can't edit it anymore. So we're going to save as, and again, I'm going to go to my computer and go to that same folder. And I'm going to save it as a JPEG. So once that is complete, we just need to find out where we're going to save it. So go to that same spot. Open up the Lilac folder, go to the Photoshop files, or the JPEG files I mean, and we'll save it here. So then all my JPEGs are in the same folder. Trust me, this will really save you time. You can change your quality here. I'm just gonna leave this one high. Normally you would leave it high for print. I am going to put this one on the web. So there are ways that you can actually, right here, resize for the web or for Facebook. Let's open up the web one. I have not used this in forever, so this actually just made it a lot smaller, and you can put in your custom dimensions. It shows the image size. You can change the resolution. I'm going to, I should have just done automatic, but right here I'm going to change it and to 90, and honestly I don't know why I did this when I did this, but I did, messed around with it, and I clicked OK, and you're going to see that I'm going to actually show you how to do it for Facebook here in a second, because I did not remember what I was doing. But it actually, this will make it so that if you are putting it online, it will format it to the social media platform or the web that you're on. And also, when you do this, resize it and resharpen it, as you can see, I'm trying to save it right here, and there is no JPEG. Why is that? Oh, it's because I didn't flatten it. So I am putting in this audio afterwards, and I'm confused here as to why I can't find a JPEG. Well, it's because I couldn't find it. Okay, so now I am going to sharpen it for Facebook and resize it. So I already resized it for Facebook. It was super simple, as you could see while I was talking. And now we're going to sharpen it for Facebook. So we press play on the action, and it sharpens it, and then we have to flatten it. So let's see if I'm smarter this time. No, I'm not. I'm going to go try to save it to my computer again, and notice that I want to change it to JPEG, and I can't. So you're going to stay with me during this, or I'm going to edit it out either way. Maybe it's a good idea for me to leave this in so that you can see that when you can't figure something out, there's always a solution. So I'm still confused. So I'm canceling it, and I'm going to finally figure out, oh, it's not another layer I need to add. I'm going to go, see, this is me like trying to troubleshoot, and it's so ridiculous of me, but this is what happens sometimes when you haven't used a program in such a long time. But then I finally realized you need to flatten your image, and now you can save it as a JPEG. So save as, save to your computer, go up there, and JPEG selected, find out where you want to put it. I'm already there, and then I can just save. But however, for this one, I am actually going, well, let's see if I actually figure this one out. So I'm going to go to exports because it's already saved, and I'm going to go to Facebook. So this is my other thing. I have a folder for exports for specific things that I'm going to put it as. So it wouldn't be under print. I already have one for that. But if I'm doing it with special one to Facebook, or IG or blog post, I can put those in there. So okay, so now we're going to change it to something different. I'm thinking you can also leave it just plain as your color. You can change the color again, get your eyedropper tool and go on over and fix that. But I'm gonna place another texture overlay over it so you can see what that looks like. So place linked, and then you're going to go to the area that has that. So I'm going to go to my template folder.
What are we going to do about this Noah guy? I have a plan. Next time I see him, I'm gonna hew us up in his head.
And if you go over here, I am going to do the canvas and then just place. So once it places, press OK. Once it places, you'll just drag it on over. Get it where you want it to be. And then you're going to see I'm going to mess around with some different ones here. So there's dissolve, it doesn't really do anything. I'm going to try lighten, it gives you a different look. So you mess around with these, they're not, you can always undo. There's screen, that's the one I'm actually going to use and normally use for this. There's overlay, makes it a little darker. And there is soft light. But I'm going to go back to screen. So this is just another way you can do it. As you can see, the lettering again is behind the canvas, so you need to put that at the top, so it's on the top layer, which means, like, think of it as layering a bed. It's on the top layer. And then I'm going to change the font, so go over to font and just scroll down and find a different font.
I think he meant me. Or then just do whatever you did last time. On it!
And no. I think we'll go with this one. And so now we have a different font, and you can move this around, you can make it bigger, different things like that if you like.
One question. Where's the library? It is the building behind the science lab. Behind the mess hall.
So you can do the same stuff with Canva as well. I'm actually going to look for a little something to go behind this. And this is where I kind of forget how to change the color on these. I used to know how, and I forget now, so I'm just going to place this on there, and you'll see I won't keep it black, but I will actually resize it. And I'm going to have to fast forward through some of this. I'm going to resize this one. And I'm also just going to lighten it so its opacity a little bit. So you can see I placed it, and I don't remember how to change it or move it again, which I don't know what happened here. But so I am going to resize this so it's a little smaller. And there is a way you can flip it too. I'm just not remembering. It's up in the panel, on the menu panel, but we're going to keep it about this size. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the opacity here in a second, and I'm just going to lighten it, turn down the opacity, so it's a little bit see-through instead of changing the color. I wouldn't keep it this way, but this is what I'm going to do because I forget how to change the color and things like that.
Well, he didn't tell.
Okay, so you see I moved the text over, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Again, there are other ways you can do this. And there you go. So now you can always mess with the opacity a little bit, bring it down so you can see the lettering better, because the lettering is already on the top. And I don't remember the link. I'll have to look that up, what the link means. So there you go, we're done, and you can export it. So you can do this in Canva, you can do this in Affinity, you can do this in probably Silhouette and other design programs. I have not used Photoshop in quite a while. I went to Canva because the ease and use of it, it's so simple. But after starting a blog and starting on some of those things, I realized I have a lot of Photoshop stuff, and it's great when you're doing photography. So this is something I think is a great thing to learn, because you can really get a lot more customized and personal in this one. So I hope that helps. And there are different ways. If you'd like to learn about Canva or Photoshop, let me know.